The autumn chill nips at my neck as I adjust my collar and step into the warm glow of Giorgio's, a quaint Italian restaurant tucked away on the quieter side of downtown. It's the kind of place where important deals are whispered over candlelit tables, and tonight, I'm here to secure a promising contract with a potential business partner. I've arrived early to gather my thoughts and prepare my pitch, the stakes etched deeply into the furrows of my brow. As I wait, I scan the room. It's cozy, with amber light pooling on dark wood and the murmur of conversations weaving through the air. That's when I see them. My heart stalls, a jolt of disbelief. There, in the far corner, under the dim glow of a single pendant light, is my wife, Clara. Her laughter floats across the room, unmistakable. Her hand, delicate and familiar, rests intimately in another man's. They're not just sharing a meal, they're sharing moments meant for us. My initial shock gives way to a piercing clarity. She had mentioned a dinner with a client tonight, her voice casual, almost too casual. I had believed her. Yet here she is, radiant in betrayal, her lies unraveling before my eyes. As I watch, hidden by the shadows, the urge to confront them swells. But something holds me back, the cold, calculating whisper of revenge. Why reveal myself when I could let this play out, gather the evidence and construct a revenge so devastating she'd never see it coming? The man leans in, whispering something that sparks another round of her laughter. That sound, once the melody of my happiest moments, now feels like a knife twisting in my chest. I pull out my phone, the screens glow harsh in the dim light. I begin recording, every frame capturing this undeniable truth. It's the first piece of my plan. As they continue their charade, oblivious to my presence, my mind races, plotting, planning. I will dismantle the life she knows, piece by piece. By the end of this, she will understand the true cost of her deception. With every laugh, every tender touch she shares with him, my resolve hardens. I am no longer just a betrayed husband, I am an architect of retribution. Tonight marks the beginning of her unraveling, and she won't see me coming until it's far too late. Leaving my unfinished wine on the table, I slip out into the night, the crisp air now matching the resolve in my veins. Giorgio's fades behind me, the sounds of betrayal swallowed by the bustling city. The game has just begun, and I am nobody's fool. The morning after the revelation is bleak, a relentless rain mirroring the storm brewing within me. I sit in my office, the video of Clara and her lover playing on a loop on my computer screen. Each frame fuels the fire of my resolve, the image is a catalyst for the plan taking shape in my mind. My phone buzzes, a message from Clara, her words as hollow as they now feel, running late tonight, don't wait up. Love you. The irony stings, and my fingers hover over the keyboard. I type, okay, love you too, knowing these are just the empty exchanges of our new reality. The door to my office swings open, and my assistant, Mark, steps in, hesitating when he sees the intensity in my eyes. You okay, boss? He asks, his concern palpable. Fine, I reply curtly, shutting down the video. What do you have for me? He places a file on my desk. The background check you asked for on Clara's client. Mark uses air quotes, having seen the video over my shoulder. I leaf through the pages, my eyes quickly absorbing the information. Jeremy Holt, I read aloud. His life story unfolds in the documents, a businessman with a shaky reputation and a penchant for risky deals. Perfect. How deeply is he involved in the market? Mark leans forward, lowering his voice. Deep enough to hurt if things go sideways for him. A plan begins to crystallize. We're going to ensure they do. Set up a meeting with him. It's time I got to know my wife's companion. The next few days are a blur of activity. I meet with Jeremy under the guise of potential business ventures. He's eager, perhaps too eager, and completely unaware of my connection to Clara. We talk numbers, possibilities, each meeting meticulously documented and reported back to Clara as late nights spent cultivating new leads. Meanwhile, I use these fabricated work sessions to delve into Clara's financials, her secrets. I uncover accounts I hadn't known about, expenses that were never mine. Each discovery is a piece to a puzzle I am desperate to solve, not just to know how deep her betrayal goes, but to use it against her. Late one evening, I finally confront her, the evidence laid out neatly before her on the dining room table. Her face drains of color as she reads through the documents, her eyes flickering up to meet mine. What is this, John?" she stammers, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's over, Clara," I say, my voice steady, devoid of the warmth it once held for her. "I know about him, about everything." She tries to explain, tears brimming in her eyes, but I raise a hand to stop her. "Save it. I've heard enough of your lies." The room is thick with tension, each of her sobs a sound I no longer register with sympathy. As I turn to leave, her plea slices through the cold air. "Please, John, we can fix this." I don't look back. There's nothing left to fix. I step out into the night, the darkness a perfect cover for a man with a heart as stormy as the sky above. The wheels of revenge are in motion, and there's no turning back now. The storm has only just begun, and I am its master. The days following my confrontation with Clara are charged with a silent fury. She tries to reach out, her messages and calls blooming across my phone screen, desperate and frequent. I ignore them all, each unread notification a deliberate step in my plan of retribution. My next move is clear. I need to shake Jeremy Holt, make him as vulnerable as he unwittingly made me. With Mark's assistance, we delve deeper into Jeremy's dealings, finding the cracks in his financial armor. I reach out to my contacts, subtly seeding doubt about Jeremy's stability and reliability. A week later, I orchestrate a chance encounter at an industry event. Jeremy, already rattled from the rumors circulating about him, greets me with a nervous handshake. "John, good to see you," he says, his voice tinged with unease. "We need to talk," I say, steering him away from the crowd. In the quiet corner of the hotel lobby, I lay out my cards. "I know about you and Clara. And I know about your precarious business moves." Jeremy's face pales, his eyes darting around as if looking for an escape. "I don't know what you're talking about, John." "Don't you?" I step closer, my voice low and menacing. "How destabilizing do you think it would be if your partners knew about your extracurricular activities? Or if they thought you were a risk they couldn't afford?" He swallows hard, his facade cracking. "What do you want?" "Security," I reply sharply. "For my investments and for my peace of mind. I want you to back off from the deals we discussed. Consider it paying for your indiscretions." Jeremy nods, understanding the gravity of his situation. Okay, I'll pull back." "Good," I say, clapping him on the shoulder with feigned camaraderie. "Glad we could sort this out." Leaving the shaken man behind, I return home, my resolve solidifying. This is only the beginning. Later that night, as I sit in my study, my computer pings with an alert from the security system, a motion detected at the back of the house. I pull up the live feed and see a figure lurking near the shadows. Grabbing a flashlight, I head outside, the cool night air bristling against my skin. Confronting the intruder, I recognize Clara's desperate form as she turns, startled by my sudden appearance. "John! I was just... What are you doing here, Clara?" I demand, the beam of my flashlight steady on her face. "I needed to see you, to explain," she pleads, stepping closer. The moonlight glints off her tear-streaked cheeks. "There's nothing left to say," I state coldly, stepping back to maintain the distance between us. "Please, John, just listen," she implores. "I never meant for any of this to happen. It's not what you think." But her words are too late, her explanations empty. "You should leave, Clara. There's nothing for you here anymore." As she retreats into the night, her figure swallowed up by the darkness, I turn back inside. The house feels colder, emptier, but my heart is set on a course from which there is no deviation. The game is far from over, and I am still moving the pieces. My next moves are already lining up, the consequences of her betrayal still unfolding. The intrigue of my revenge is only deepening, and I am nowhere near done. The cascade of events I've orchestrated against Clara and Jeremy gains a relentless momentum, like a dark wave swelling towards the shore. Over the weeks, Jeremy's reputation deteriorates under the weight of rumors and whispered doubts, his business ventures faltering like dominoes in a cruel, precise line. Clara's life unravels in tandem, her pleas for reconciliation drowning in the sea of my cold retribution. Today marks the culmination of my plans, the final stroke of my vengeance. I invite both Clara and Jeremy to meet me, separately, under the guise of offering a chance for peace, at a secluded warehouse that serves as a grim stage for my final act. First to arrive is Jeremy, his face haggard, a shadow of the confident man he once was. As he steps into the dimly lit interior, I emerge from the shadows, my presence the embodiment of his downfall. "John, what is this?" he stammers, his eyes darting nervously. "Justice," I reply, stepping forward with a document in hand. "Sign this. It's your confession admitting to fraud and deceit in your business dealings. It's time you paid your dues." Jeremy's hands tremble as he takes the paper, his defeat etched in every line of his face. "And if I don't?" I smile, cold and unyielding. "Then the next call I make is to the police, and after that, the press. Your life, as you know it, ends here." Defeated, he signs, the scribble a silent testament to his capitulation. As he slinks away, destroyed and broken, Clara arrives, her posture wary but defiant. "John, why are we here? What do you want from me?" Her voice is steady, but her eyes betray a deep fear. "I wanted you to see the consequences of betrayal," I say, motioning towards the door through which Jeremy just exited. "Your lover has fallen, and now, so will you." Her face pales as I hand her a set of photos, images of her and Jeremy, their intimacy undeniable, alongside financial records of her hidden accounts. "These will be interesting reading for our friends at the IRS and your employer," I say with calculated cruelty. "You wouldn't," she whispers, her voice breaking. "I already have. My words are the final nails in the coffin of our marriage. Consider this my parting gift." The realization dawns on her, the full extent of my vengeance clear as she stumbles backward, her world crumbling around her. "John, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen," she pleads, her composure shattered. "It's too late for sorry, Clara. You chose this path when you decided to deceive me," I respond, the finality in my voice sealing her fate. As she leaves, her sobs echoing off the cold, hard walls of the warehouse, I feel a hollow victory. My revenge is complete, their lives dismantled as thoroughly as they had once dismantled my trust. As thoroughly as they had once. In the echoing space, the weight of my actions presses down on me. The shadows seem to close in, the silence a stark reminder of the cost of my ruthlessness. I have won, but at what price? My heart, once capable of love, now harbors only the remnants of the storm I unleashed. I turn, leaving the warehouse behind, the chapter of my life with Clara closed forever, sealed by mutual destruction and an irreparable breach of trust. The night is dark, and as I walk away, I know that the path forward is mine alone to tread, shadowed by the memories of what was and what can never be again.